I do a fair number of programming videos on this channel, like how to write your own FreeDOS programs in C. And some people have asked in the comments, how can they set up their programming environment to look just like mine? So I want to do a video specifically about how I set up my programming environment on FreeDOS. So here I've got a blank virtual machine that I've just installed FreeDOS 1.3 on. I haven't installed any other packages except the Watcom C compiler. And if I run fdimpls, which is our package manager, you can see that under development, we've got Watcom C already installed. But the editor that I like to use is the Fed editor. And if I go down to editors, you can see I haven't installed Fed yet. So I'm going to do tab to get over there on the right, go down to Fed, hit space, and that'll select Fed. And I tab until I can see OK, and I hit space to install Fed. So if I go into the apps directory, and I go into the Fed directory, I can now run Fed. Now, normally when you see me using Fed, the folding editor, I got white text on a blue background. That's just because that's the custom colors that I've set up. This, we've just installed Fed, so we're getting the defaults, which is black text on a white background. Let's go ahead and exit out of this real quick. I'm going to hit the Alt, and that'll bring up the menu, do F to select the file menu, and then go down for quit. Now, I can run Fed from this directory because that's where the program lives. But if I go back to the root directory and I try to type Fed, well, that program doesn't exist. So I have to put it in my path somehow. Or actually, I do it a slightly different way. So first of all, let me go into the devel directory. That's where we have the Watcom C compiler installed. So we'll go into Watcom C. And here you can see we have an OWSETENV.BAT file. And so that is a batch file that will set up your open Watcom environment. So I can compile programs. And if I just do a type on OWSETENV.BAT, you can see it's a pretty short batch file that just sets up some various paths. And you need to do this before you do any compiling of any programs. I like to edit this though. So let's go ahead and do an edit on the OWSETENV.BAT file. And what I do is at the end, I add another command, and that is alias, and then fed equals, and then the full path to the Fed program, C:\fed, apps, fed, and then fed.exe. Now I could put the Fed directory in my path. You can see up here, it's already set the path for Open Watcom. And I could certainly add the path for Fed up there. I don't, because I just don't need to have an extra item in my path for just one program that I'm going to run. And so alias is a good way to do that. Now, why do I put my alias in here? And that is because I want to have some way to remind myself if I've actually got my environment set up. And so if I have the alias for Fed in here at the end of my OWSETENV, and I try to type Fed to run the Fed editor, and it gives me command not found, then I know that I haven't actually run my OWSETENV batch file yet. So let's go ahead and save this. So I'm in the FreeDOS editor. I'm going to do Alt-F. That brings up the file menu. We'll go ahead and save that. And now we'll go into the file menu again, and we'll exit. And now again, so if I do Fed to edit some program, like let's do a hello world program, hello.c, I'm going to get a command not found because I haven't run the OWSETENV batch file yet, right? So bad command or file name. So if I actually set up my programming environment, OWSETENV, now I can do fed hello.c. And so it's set up a default file here under the Open Watcom directory. And so that's devel Watcom C source hello. If I exit out of this, I actually usually do my development in a different directory. And so I'll back up to the root directory. And I'll make a new directory in here called source. That's usually where I do my programming. So I go into the source directory, And now I can do another one, which is fed hello.c. Now fed, if it doesn't find the file that it's looking for in the current folder or directory, it'll scan all the directories underneath it. That's why when we did it from the OpenWatcom folder or directory, it found it a little further down. Here, there's nothing in the source directory. And so when I do fed hello.c, I'm able to create a new file in my source directory. And so here I can create a program. So we'll do include standardIO.h, and then I'll do my int main program. And let's do put s hello there. This program was compiled with OpenWatcom. And so that is the program that I've just done. And then we'll do a return back the operating system with an error code of 0, just demonstrating that I can compile the program that I want to compile. So that is just a very simple hello world program. I'll do Alt F to get up here, and I'll go ahead and save and quit. And now I can do the Watcom compiler and linker. I might want to make this quiet, otherwise it's going to print a whole bunch of text that I don't need to see. And then hello.c. And now it's compiled my program and it's linked it. And you can see that there's my object file and my compiled program called hello.exe, which I can just run as hello. And so that's how I have my environment set up to compile programs on FreeDOS. You can see everything from the beginning. I have the OWSETENV.BAT file, and I have my alias to the fed command in there. So that way, if I try to run fed and fed isn't to be found, then I know that I haven't run the OWSETENV.BAT file. So what do you think about that video? Let me know in the comments below. Before I go, I want to thank everybody who supports me on Patreon. You really do make this channel happen. Thank you very much. Some of you are supporting me at a higher level, and I want to thank you again on this card. So thank you again for supporting me at that level. Visit our website at freedos.org. Join us on Facebook. Follow us on Mastodon. And consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you.